Happy Halloween! Day 3, 31 Days of Horror. What do you think about my guy over here? Give them a name. Oh. Today, we're doing When Evil Lurks. It was a film released about a year ago in 2023, and you can watch this film on Hulu, Disney Plus, Shudder. So what is happening on Disney Plus? This is on Disney Plus. Pretty wild. How to watch When Evil Lurks. Not alone. I watched it alone. I don't suggest it. I scared my dog a few times with all the moments I had. He definitely walked out of the room. So be curled up, someone you love, and also maybe some reading glasses because it is in subtitles. Mine aren't real, so these were fun to do. Aaron's tip for day 3 would be subtitles. Get over it. You're missing so many great films, but especially so much great horror, so many new ideas of how to be scared or what scares us. If you need to do the dubbed thing, do what you can do to watch these foreign films, but read. I love to hear their voices saying these words and hearing their language. So subtitles, get over it. Start reading and watching. You can do two things at once. Try. And this is in Spanish, so if you don't speak Spanish, you might need to some reading glasses on. 1 minute summary coming your way. I got 1 minute to tell you about this film, but without spoiling it for you, so you can know what it's about and if you want to watch this film or not. 3, 2, 1. So, love this film. But this is my summary. It's about two brothers. They're on a farm and they are away from the world in Argentina, I think. And there's another family that lives on the same location in a different house, and they have one of the brothers is sick there. The different family, but one of the men there are sick and like really sick. Like he is bloated. He is feeling like there's something wrong with him, and they definitely think it's something evil or demonic. But anyways, something happens where they have to get rid of this body. Essentially, the landlord that owns all the land wants to get him out and get the evil out, get it out. So the brothers help him with this, but that wasn't the end of the evil. The evil, this demonic presence follows and chases these two brothers, chases the landlord, and they cannot get away. And so then it's an adventure from there. Well, an adventure, quote unquote, but they leave the farm and go into their cities trying to save their families, and this evil presence follows them. I did it pretty much. Time for erroneous thoughts. These are just my thoughts about the film, but I don't want to give it a review, really. I just want to give you my impulsive thoughts. I only have a minute to tell you all my thoughts about this film, which is going to be very difficult for this one. Let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Loved this film so freaking much. So glad I watched it at the beginning of all these films that I'm watching, and I just love it because I think it really deals with trauma, and trauma follows us. Trauma, you can't get away from it. So it has this kind of good allegory for trauma, but also like it is unrelenting. They're just go, go, go. And I love that it stays at like baseline. Like we never really get to know about the evil all that much. And we never get to know what's happening outside of these brothers' situation. We follow them. We're on their journey and what's going on. And I love when films do that and don't explain too much. You don't need to explain too much. And the acting was so good. The writing was so good. This director made me go and watch all of his other films because I loved this one so freaking much. And it's kind of a slow burner, but it also is just go, go, go at the same time. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I can't say enough positive things about it in 1 minute. There is a bit of, I like to give somewhat, this is a trigger warning for me, so I do like to give trigger warnings to others that still don't feel like it spoils, but I don't know if I really enjoyed how they handled. There's a boy in it who is neurodivergent. He also is a nonverbal as well as is a bit immobile. He has to, be moved and carried around, which it's a good setup for like scares, because when the evil presence does come in, he's stuck in his body in that way where he can't say what's happening and he can't run from this thing. So there are those moments, but it also like kind of makes me feel in my own, and I'm sensitive to this, so it may be just me, but it felt a little bit ableist, that it was kind of saying that he's disabled makes that the disabled is evil in a way. It kind of felt like it was telling me, but maybe I'm reading that wrong and I'm just too sensitive, because I could see also maybe someone giving an argument about like when something happens in the film that no, that's the evil, that's not his disability, that is the evil. It can see both ways, but I felt like sometimes I was like, are they trying to say that his disabilities are like evil to his body? I don't know. that's just a trigger warning, just in case that you get triggered by those sorts of things. So here's my experience watching this film. I think it's important how we watch horror, and so I need to share with you how I watched it. Watched it alone, because I watch most of these alone, and I didn't know much about it. I was just on like a Facebook group for scary movies, and they were talking about this film, and so I was like, I'm gonna try this, because I'm just gonna try horror that I haven't seen before. And so glad I did. I knew very little about it besides like the synopsis that it gives when you press play. And this movie stuck with me. Like, it haunted me afterwards. And I love horror that does that. That's my kind of horror. It stays with you and horrifies you throughout your life for the next few days. And I got to tell people, I just want to tell everybody about it, like, to go watch this film. Did When Evil Lurks stick its ending? And what that means to me, endings are important to horror films. I think they make or break this film. For me, this ending, 4. So 5 is like, boom, that was the best ending. 1, I did not like that ending. And I'm giving this one a 4. Now I'm going to give it a 4. Why I didn't get a 5? And this is my fault. I had an expectation. I was expecting a certain kind of ending. Expectations are just future resentments. So it's my own fault that the filmmaker decided to go a different direction that I was not expecting. I was disappointed, but I have to let that go. If I just went with the journey and didn't have any expectations, but I was just getting so into it, I would have been a 5. But I'm going to stick with my 4. Aaron's category. So I'm just going to give you my feelings about this through categories, right? So I'm going to get fun, silly category that kind of describes this film without giving it a review of the film. So here's what I'm going to give it. It's dark. It's dealing with evil. It's a slow burner. It takes its time to get there, but it's also unrelenting once it does its thing. It's unrelenting and character-driven. That's one of my descriptors, character-driven. And it's a ride. So those are my 5. So it's a dark, slow burner, unrelenting, character-driven ride. Would I stab it again? Am I going to see When Evil Lurks again? Yes, I'm going to stab it again. I'll stab it over and over and over. In fact, I'll probably watch it before Halloween this season again. It was my kind of horror. Loved it. I'm going to stab it again. I'll stab it, stab it, stab it. Now it's your turn. You go in the comments. You let me know what you thought of When Evil Lurks. I seriously love even when people don't like a film. I mean, don't trash a film. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Explain why you don't like it. You don't have to like send, hate towards it. But if you don't like it, I love to hear that. I want to know why. Or if you did love it, I love to talk about what you got from it. So let me know in the comments, please. Or let me know what other horror I should watch if I liked this, right? That helps. Happy Halloween.